Welcome to another edition of AACFB's Front and Center. And today I'm excited to present Kit West. Hello, Kit.
Hello, Leslie.
How are
Good.
you?
I am well, very well. Good to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. I think we were talking before we came online here about how excited we are about spring.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, here in Wyoming, spring is, well, it's transition from snow and wind to just wind and warm. So, yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, especially after a little bit of snow and maybe the wetness that comes with the melting snow and all of that. If it gets
Yes.
warm and windy, maybe dries up a little bit, you can get out there and do some things.
Yes, most definitely. No, outdoors is great. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So tell me a little bit about for we're introducing you to
Mhm.
everybody that's going to see this in AACFB and beyond in our wonderful esteemed equipment finance industry. So tell us how you got into equipment finance.
And so what's kind of funny is everybody you talk to and you ask that question, and everybody says I just kind of fell into it. That's been the thing. I fell into it. But it seems like everything I always ever done in my life, all my career has led me to this point. My most of my career has been in ag, in ranching, family operation, and then kind of moved away from the family side of things and kind of bounced around a bit. It's always been sales, always been business development, no matter what I did, sold newspapers, sold cows, sold land, whatever it was. And then one day, our local little industry, our little business here that started by Chuck Brown back in 1995, which, by the way, 30 years in business this year. So we're celebrating that. Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, and so 30 years in business this year. And so I came in 2020. I was actually selling newspapers for a little ag newspaper here that was going 2020 was going, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And CH Brown was doing a kind of a turnaround where some leadership was leaving and some new leadership was coming in, and the new leadership knew about me, and I'm heavily involved in our community and our chamber and volunteer in our little community of 3,000 people here in Southeast Wyoming, little bitty town. So he asked me to come be the business development director of CH Brown. I said, sure. So in the 2 months leading up to that, I fully understood what it meant to be a corporate business development person and walked in and put my own spin on it and just dove in and drinking from a fire hose. You just dive in and you get to know the associations, get to know the people there. And I had a lot of help. I had Bud Callahan reach out to me and got to know him very well. And he was huge and instrumental in getting me going and meeting more and more people and get an understanding of where CH Brown is at in the industry and what we can do to improve things and make things better. And so, yeah, and so has 5 years. It'll be 5 years here at the end of March that I've been with CH Brown and been in the industry. So, like I said, I feel that everything I've ever done has led me to here, and I love it here. I don't plan on going anyplace else. I'm going to be in the industry. This is my thing. So yeah, that's kind of fell into it and just love it. Yeah, just love the people, love the business, love the problem solving. Just love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of problem solving and a lot of creativity, a lot of freedom to
Yep.
do different things and solve problems. Like you said, I mean, you were doing that before if you were already
Yep.
selling all types of different things. So you were finding ways
Yes.
to make things happen. So it
Yep.
sounds like someone recognized an opportunity and some skill sets there as he should have and brought you on board. And you've
Yep.
mentioned a couple of rock stars of the industry. So you got introduced by some of the greatest, like Bud. He's amazing, right?
But oh, amazing, man. Oh my gosh. And then that led me to Scott Wheeler, and that led me to RJ Grimshaw. I mean, just all these people, amazing people that have just been so supportive and so helpful. I can call any of them and ask a question and just so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of you beat me to it. You kind of led into what the associations do through the list of
Mm.
names that you've given that's there to support you. And those individuals are supportive of you. And I think they've all been involved in the
Yep.
AACFB as well. And
Yep.
that offers a support network. So tell me, since this is front and center for AACFB, how do
Mhm.
you play into AACFB now? What's your involvement and what are you looking forward to?
So as soon as I could, I just continued to ask questions, got involved in the forum more, I had some bumps and bruises trying to figure out how to go through things. And, like I said, trying to figure out where CHB is at and get us on the right track. And I think we are now. And so what it meant was I'm very face to face. So just going to the get-togethers, the conferences, shake hands and go, okay, I talked to you on how many times on the phone. I've emailed you back and forth. Now we get to talk more in depth. I get to meet you. I get to meet your team behind you, and you get to meet my team. And we get to find that, oh my gosh, we have a lot in common. And so it just builds the relationships from there and it just keeps growing and growing. And so I look forward to going to the association conferences just because I just want to talk to people face to face and ask them questions and get to know their business, get to know their lives, get to know their pain points, and then maybe at some point I can help them solve a problem and use my network of people, my network of things I've done in my life to help them solve problems. So it's just, yeah, I and so from that, got involved with committees, and then got asked to be on the advisory council, which was a huge honor. And so I just gonna go, okay, this is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The advisory councils are amazing little councils that are coming in to help make sure that AACFB is supporting all of the broker members that are in there and solving any problems that come up because our industry is so dynamic and ever changing. And if we don't have people who are out there on the streets in these committees and a part of AACFB, then we wouldn't be able to keep up with that. And fortunately, AACFB has always been at the forefront of the broker community and supportive of the broker community, connected with the lender community, and making sure that we know what's going on and that we have the most current information available to keep people on the cutting edge of lending, right? On the high caliber, highly educated. So it is amazing. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And I'm so glad that you're a part of the advisory council now.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So CH Brown, we know you're with CH Brown since 2020, you said. And so tell me what your favorite thing about CH Brown is and how one or two ways how they're solving problems for customers. So let's highlight that a little bit because that's an important thing to know, especially for brokers in the AACFB.
I think understanding the broker side of things and understanding that I call it the Wild West of industries, the last of the Wild West, because here an individual can walk in and if they know how to sell and they know how to talk and they know how to communicate, they can be very, very successful here. They can grow, they can start their own business. They don't need a license. They can just walk in the door and say, I want to be a broker. And so we embrace that. And so here at CH Brown, we work with startup brokers all the time. I have startup brokers calling me every day saying, hey, I hear you can help us. And so we say yes. And we don't do minimums. I don't require you to send me 20 deals a month or anything like that. We just say, hey, I'm going to help you through this. You need marketing help. You need messaging help. This is what I think. Where's your market at? Ask those questions, get those details, and then start that, say, well, do this and this and this and try this. And so it's been fun watching several of our startup brokers that I got to know 4 or 5 years ago who are now very, very successful and doing very, very well. And so it's kind of fun to see that and to know that we've been a part of that and to help them out. I think CH Brown, one of the big things is you call us and we answer the phone. You talk to a live Wyoming person that can answer your question, or they will give you to somebody in the office that can answer the question. We don't have a phone tree. We don't have touch dial 1 for this, dial 2 for this. It is you call any one of the numbers. It doesn't matter which one. You talk to somebody, and if it's something answer that I can answer, they'll send me to you or send you to me, or they'll send to whoever, in the office. So we're very personable. It's a transactional industry, but yet we're making it relationships. It's the relationships that ultimately overcome everything. If we can build the relationships, build the know, like, and trust, then that answers a lot of questions right there.
Absolutely. I can tell you when I started Mac Global Corp about 15 years ago, getting on
Mhm.
board with lenders as a broker company and trying to learn the
Yes.
industry, it was hard. It was one of the most
Mhm.
difficult things you can do because you are trying to build a relationship, but you don't have any past to provide
Yep.
some type of support or faith or commitment to what you're doing. And
Yep.
so to have a lender say, we'll work with new brokers and help them learn the process is unique. It's super unique in our industry. And I'm glad to hear you guys saying that you're doing that because outside of joining AACFB and CLFP, getting your CLFP license, which I did eventually, just having some lenders in your corner as a broker, especially
Mhm.
when you're starting out, makes the difference between making it or breaking it, success or failure.
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. Because then I'll have other funding sources after they've been established. They'll have other funding sources asking me for references, and I can give them honest references, and it then just helps them grow even more. So,
Yeah, I mean, brokers in a lot of ways are trying to help their customers build or continue to build their credit in their business when they're helping them to achieve equipment financing. But they don't always think about how they're also trying to build their broker credit, right? Like their
yep,
history, that gives
yep,
them the green light for
yep.
having multiple relationships with lenders. So glad to hear you guys are doing that. And I haven't been new to the industry for quite a while, so that's not something that I would have known about your company. I know what maybe more established brokers know, which is you're great to work with. But glad to know for anyone who's new and who sees this video knows that you're welcoming them to come forward and to start a relationship. That's awesome.
Definitely,
Um,
most definitely.
yeah. So before I get into some of the nitty gritty, the what you know what I'm going to ask because I've already told. Is there anything else that you want to say to the AACFB community and beyond, or the equipment finance industry out there? Is there anything that we can let you just go free form and get a message out there that you think is important right now?
Um, we're always going to be going through ups and downs. There's always going to be trials and tribulations. There's good times and bad times. And as long as we can fight through the good and prepare in the bad, and fight through, I'm sorry, fight through the bad and prepare in the good,
Yeah.
then, we're going to make it through there's no average. Average is just a number. There's going to be highs and lows, and either you're high or you're low right now. So we just battle through it, keep fighting through it, keep sending deals, keep talking to me, keep asking questions, keep calling and keep asking those questions. I brokers call me every day with all these questions and I'm so sorry for bothering you. No, that's part of it. That's it. We're not You're not bothering me. You are helping me because if I answer your question or have the ability to find an answer for a solution for you, most likely there's going to be two or three or four other brokers that are going to call and say, hey, I'm having this problem. Well, I just answered it for this person, and this is what to look for. And then funding sources too. We just talk together and see what, get their take of the industry. Our take from our little part of Wyoming here, is going to be different from your take in New York and Florida and California. And you're going to see a different picture than what we're seeing. So if we just continue on to hold those communications and talk and work our way through all this, we'll be successful.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great message is to continue communicating and don't give up in the middle of what might seem like it's an issue. It's really just normal everyday problem solving. And that's what happens in our industry. Most of us thrive on it anyway, but it's
Oh yeah.
good to remember, right? That we do. We're
Yes.
lifers. We're
Oh yeah.
lifers.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, but to keep pushing through. But that's a great message. So, okay. So
Okay.
what is something that few people know about Kit? This makes us all feel like we're your friends now. We're your
Okay.
close friends and we know something. What would that thing be?
Um, you know, Hobbies. I guess I don't know if I have ordinary hobbies or not. I have two very deep hobbies. One is fly fishing. Of course, my son, works down there in Colorado, not far from you, and is on the Gunnison River every single day, or on the Colorado. So fly fishing, I love fly fishing. And then next, I challenge anybody at any of the conferences, if we can find a pool table, I challenge to play you. I would love to
Cool.
play you. So, so,
That's a
so,
good
and
one.
I'm super competitive. I've been a coach, a basketball coach all my life for 27 years. That was part of my things growing up, and growing up with our kids. Basketball was huge. So I've been a basketball coach, a state championship coach. So that's kind of cool. So now it's pool. It is, I love to play pool and I love to go to tournaments. And so I challenge anybody who find a pool table at one of these conferences, I'll play all day with you.
That sounds amazing. I love that. In fact, I think that that would be something fun to incorporate at one of the association meetings
Exactly.
at
We
some
have
point,
pickleball.
right?
We got pickleball in Vegas. And so I said, we should have a pool tournament somewhere if we can get enough people involved.
Yeah, why not? You know what I
Why
mean?
not?
But now we all know Kid is a pool shark. So,
I know.
well,
I don't know about that.
except for he let us know that makes him less of a shark and just really good at pool.
That's
So,
right. We just love to play. Now you
well,
meet some of the best people, some of my best friends I've met playing pool, and you just get to know people and you get to know true people in competition. When you're competing with somebody, you get to see their true who they really, really are. Because you see how if they are controlled and if they understand that being upset or something is not part of the game. You got to maintain that level of integrity. In competition, it's one of the truth tellers of who you truly are.
I couldn't agree with that more. I played a lot of sports when I was growing up, and then I continue to play sports just for fun as I've gotten
Mhm.
older. But it's how people perform under pressure, right? Not just
Yes.
how they react, but then also when, they're pressured to do something great and either they do or don't. That's not always necessarily the telltale sign. It's
Yep.
how do they perform and then how do they react, which is what you're
Yep.
saying. You're right. I
React. Oh
love
yeah.
this about people
Yep.
because it does tell you a lot about their character.
Yep. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, good to know. Okay. Fly fishing, which is a beautiful thing to watch. This,
Ah.
I know I'm not
Ah.
doing this right, but it's like this, right? And the
It's
little
it's you got to hesitate on the back and then shoot it forward.
like that. Yeah. And it just
Yeah.
looks so freaking cool because I,
Uh,
you know,
it's a
so
challenge. It is a
don't know
challenge.
if
My
I
son
could
is
do it.
amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing is that, oh, man, isn't it that way though? Is the people who know what they're doing makes the most difficult things look effortless.
Yes.
And then you just know when you're seeing the fly fishing, when it looks beautiful, they've
Yep.
probably been doing it a long time.
Yes. Lots and lots and lots of practice. Just like what we do here. Lots and lots of practice. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. Well, good to know. Okay, so fly
Yep.
fishing, Kit wants to be challenged at pool. Any takers, seek him out at the conference. He's ready to go. And he loves sports and is
Cool.
competitive and behave because he's going to be watching you whenever you're under as we all right.
Uh,
So much fun talking to you, Kit. Is there anything
yes.
else that you want to add to what we've done today so anyone can know you or get in touch with you? You want to anything?
Yeah, no, feel free at any time. My phone number is all over the internet. So my personal cell phone, which is it's not really personal. Everybody knows that. Or my office phone. It is give me a call. I love talking to you. Email's good, text good, all that. Facebook Messenger, that's all fine. But if you really want to sit down and talk about things, I'll spend however much time it needs on the phone and talking to you and just get to know you and know your pain points and then help see what we can do for you.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kit, for your time today. And I look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Sounds good, Leslie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye bye.